Hello, everybody. It's time for a tarot reading. Don't let pride get in your way. The answers you need are coming. That must be of great comfort to whoever is meant to receive this message, right? Okay, let's draw some cards for you. Princess of Swords. The Emperor in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse. Okay. You've been overthinking a lot of stuff. Okay. And this reminds me of something my mother said before, and I didn't understand it. Because, that's how it is, right? You don't understand a lot of stuff until you live it. So, she said that a lot of people take long to do what's right. Like, let's just say if you're in the same work environment and you're doing your best, and let's say you're taking care of patients, right? You're doing your best for your patients. I don't understand why the people around you aren't doing the same thing. Where they're basically end up only doing half the work that you do. That, what ends up happening is there are a lot of patients with needs that aren't met. And these people end up passing the buck, or half or even more of their work, to the next shift, and then to the next shift, and to the next shift, until there's such a backlog. And, of course, it's hard for the people who are working there, but even more so for the patients, because that means that a lot a lot of their valid health concerns do not get any attention, and do not get resolved. And so I was very frustrated about that, right? So my mom said, it's because people don't know what to do and they're unsure. Like, you are blessed with the ability to know what to do, to have that kind of judgment, and to have that kind of confidence in your abilities. But a lot of people don't. And I felt like I don't normally share that much about myself, right? But I felt like I had to for this reading. So for you, my friend, whoever you are overthinking. And so, kind of like in the story that I said, it's because you're overthinking, you're so unsure of yourself. You're bogged down by all these thoughts that you are unable to take action the way that you should. The Emperor in reverse. And then we have the King of Swords in reverse, which kind of goes back here to the Princess of Swords. If this were upright, it's talking about somebody with confidence and clarity. They know exactly what to do. And once you know exactly what to do, then the action can begin. Right? Whereas the Princess or the Page of Swords, this is somebody that is unable to control their mind, is unable to control their fears and their worries and their anxiety. And so what happens is those fears multiply, those doubts multiply. And you're unable to basically pick out which among those thoughts need action, need to be implemented. And instead you're bogged down by all this other stuff that's not really important. And so when we come here, the answers you need are coming. Like I said, this must be a great relief to you, because you've been suffering because of your own mind. This is not like an external force. No, this is just you. The term in my head is like having a runaway mind, letting your thoughts run away from you, letting your thoughts run wild. I wonder if this means that you're catastrophizing. I hope I'm using that word correctly. I don't know. But what I mean to say is that when you're given like a possibility, right? Like, oh, either A could happen or either B could happen. It's just A or B. But for you, those options kind of multiply and then develop further along into, well, if B happens, then next week that means this other thing is going to happen. And then down the line, it's going to be this and this and this, and it's going to be super horrible. We don't know that. There are so many steps necessary after this one step that you take in order for it to reach that horrible outcome that you're thinking about, right? It it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the worst case scenario. Sometimes it's just not perfect, and that's okay, but it doesn't mean that everything's going to fall apart. I'm going to get more cards for you, okay? No. I'm going to spread it again. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Things aren't going to be perfect, once again. Maybe that's a theme for you. Maybe you're convinced that there is a perfect way to do things. I mean, certainly, I'll confess, right? Right before this reading, I was on TikTok for much longer than I usually am. Because normally what I do on TikTok is I just drop the videos and then I leave. Or sometimes I'm going to remember like a person that I follow and then I'll search them and then I get to watch like one or two videos from that person and then I leave. Okay? Occasionally I'll scroll, but today was like unusual because I think I was on that thing for 3 hours and that's a lot. That's a lot for me. I don't know if it's a lot for you, but that was a lot for me. And I'm reminded of that now because there are so many people on social media, right? That even if they look relatable, sort of, their life might seem so different from yours, so ideal. You know, they have the kind of house or the apartment that you want. It's nicely decorated. They have the kind, supportive spouse that you wish you had. They had the kids that you wish you had. They had the kind of job that you wish you had. And I think when you get exposed to this, and not necessarily just in social media, right? It could be where you're at work. You see your boss or your boss's boss, and they seem to have everything put together. And you're thinking, that's what I want. I want my life to go in that direction. And for me to get in that direction, I cannot make any mistakes. And I wonder if that perfectionism is what's driving this kind of mental torture for you, right? You're constantly being bombarded by doubts because you're like, are you sure you want to do that? Because what if it's a mistake? What if it's not good enough? Yeah, this is analysis paralysis. So the Wheel of Fortune card is reminding you that things aren't going to be perfect. And I know, like, your logical brain is telling you, of course, duh, I know. I know people on social media aren't 100% like, I don't want to use the word honest, but let's just say that the stuff like percent doesn't reflect 100% of their experiences, right? It's curated, it's chosen to show the best side of them. So we get to see the good parts. Even if they share some bad parts, we don't really get to see the full picture. And I know logically you know this, but sometimes we forget, right? Humans are emotional creatures more than they are logical creatures. And so the the Wheel of Fortune card is reminding you that good stuff happens and bad stuff happens sometimes. Things aren't going to be perfect for anyone. For anyone. Although, of course, some people seem to have it worse than others, you know. Sometimes life throws you a curveball, but it's not perfect for anybody. And I feel like there's something else. And I had it at the tip of my tongue, but I lost it. So let's see if the oracle deck can help us out. Embracing. Exactly. Like, embrace who you are. Like, imperfections and all. Um, but this, I saw this little cartoon. Was it today? I think it was today. It was like a big crowd of adults in their business suits, and then there's this little kid right in front of them. Like, it was Crayon Shinchan, or Jangu, as they call him, right? So it was him, and then at the back there was all these serious looking business people. And the caption there was like, how I feel, or no, I think it was my age, meaning all the business people, right? You're old enough to be an adult, you're old enough to be serious. But it said my mentality, meaning the little boy. Like, you are still young on the inside, even if you're supposed to be old on the outside. And the truth is that that's true for all of us. So I've mentioned before that I am old, especially because I'm on TikTok. I feel very old. Right? This is an app for younger people, probably. I don't know. But anyway, um, I don't feel old. I don't. I feel young. In a way, I feel younger now than I did when I was actually young. I remember having such bad anxiety as a teenager in my 20s and my 30s, actually, until just a few years ago. So I am happier and more carefree now as an old person than I was when I was objectively younger. It doesn't really change. I guess it's a reminder that the people that we deal with are just like us. Like, they could look serious on the outside, they could look old on the outside, they could be, with the kind of impressive job title that you want. They could be CEO, they could be whatever. They could be the founder of a startup, whatever. But on the inside, they're just kids who grew up trying their best, right? Some people more successfully than others, I guess. But no one has it fully made. Even the people who look super, super successful now, you don't actually know what the future holds. And this is not me wishing ill on anyone, not at all. But this is more just experience, right? You don't actually know how things are going to turn out. So don't think of yourself as like incompetent or behind or immature compared to everyone else. The more I kind of go through my spiritual journey, the more I realize the universality of our experiences, which makes sense because I am of the belief that we are all one, right? So although we have different paths to walk, at our core, we are also all the same, right? We all have fears and insecurities. We all have things we wish we were better at. Now, for you, my friend, I feel like this card came out for a reason. It says, don't let pride get in your way. Sometimes when we're the most insecure and when we're most ashamed of ourselves and our abilities, that's when we're less likely to ask for help from others. Because you want to prove that you can do it and that you could do it by yourself. So Whatever it is that you're going through, I mean, the example that I mentioned earlier was work related, but honestly, this could be about life. It could be because you're a first time mother or not. Maybe now you're juggling two kids instead of one, and that's really difficult, right? It could be you being in a serious relationship for the first time, living together for the first time, right? Having a partner and trying to manage your household. It could be taking care of your aging parents for the first time. Whatever it is that you're doing and you feel like you're not doing well, know that your doubts are actually preventing you from doing as good of a job as you can. And the card is reminding you that you can ask for help. It's okay to appear vulnerable to people. It's okay to admit that you're not perfect. It's okay to admit that you are a beginner. But of course, I know that's going to hurt. Like on the inside, it's like acknowledging, admitting that there's something missing or wrong with you. But just know that that's normal. And if there are people, okay, if there are people who make fun of you for this, I'm sure we've encountered that before, right? If there are other mothers that try to shame you about your parenting, um, if you have siblings that shame you for how you take care of your parents, if you have coworkers or a boss that shames you because you had to ask for some guidance because you're new at work, know that their behavior towards you is a reflection of them and not of you. The way they're acting is because they too feel insecure and threatened. And they're like, well, great, I'm glad she's the one who admitted that there's stuff she has to know. I will never admit that, even if that's actually true for me too. It's okay. Embrace it. If you're a newcomer, you're a newcomer. If you're a new mom, a new parent, embrace it. If you're new to taking care of your parents, embrace it. Whatever it is that you feel that you're not that great at, embrace it and get the help that you need. Okay? It's wonderful that you have resources. You have people who want to help you, then let them help you. I feel like I should draw another card, and I'm trying to figure out which deck. Okay, it's from this deck. Ace of Pentacles. Yes, it's a seed. Right? Always when I think of Ace of Pentacles, it's a seed. You are just starting. Or if you want to think about it, it looks like a sunrise. It's just the start of your day. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to compare yourself to seasoned veterans. You don't have to feel bad about asking for guidance, because it's better to ask for guidance as a newcomer than like 4 or 5 years down the line you still don't know what you're doing. That's not the case with you. You have an absolutely good reason to ask for help. Although, of course, you can ask for help at any stage, but for you specifically, since you're just starting, you have absolutely every reason to ask for help. Okay? Don't overthink it. Our brains are beautiful, beautiful, wonderful tools. But it's like, sometimes it's like being given a sports car and you're in a city with like bumper to bumper traffic. I mean, what are you going to do with it, you know? It's a beautiful thing sometimes, but sometimes you're like, I can't use it in any productive way if I overuse it. It's like my wheels are just turning, but I don't actually go anywhere. And that's what your thoughts are like right now. So it's okay. It's okay. All right? It's okay. Embrace it. You'll be okay. Thank you so much for watching this reading. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you got some help from this video, please press the like button and leave me a comment. Hey! So I want to thank God, the universe, my angels, spirit guides, and ancestors. Thank you to my higher self. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.